What's up, everybody? It's Thursday, November 30th, 2017. I'm your host, the big man on campus, here with you live, breaking down a smaller hoops card for today, but we're ready to crack on here. Couple of minutes late here. Had a call I was on and had to finish that up, but we're here nonetheless. Welcome everyone in. If you're out there, say hello. Hit us. Hit the like button. Say hello in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions. We don't have a huge card today, so this is cool, guys. We only have about 12, 15 games here that we can kind of knock on through and try to find some value here. So I will go over every game. So there's no need to answer any questions. I'll go through each game one by one here, and we'll try to find some value, give out a pick or two here, and try to crack on. But welcome everyone in. It's Thursday. Also, guys, if you're out there, do me a favor, retweet this show. Go on Twitter, hit the retweet when it goes live. It gets thrown out to all of your followers, and it just kind of is a way I can continue to grow the show. So we look back to last night, another 1-1 night. But as I've said, when you're in profit like I am, I got to be real, guys. I know a lot of people will look at 1-1 and not be happy, but I'm fine with it. I'm it's better than losing units. I'm good with where it is. Look, obviously want to win both these games, but when you're 1-1, I don't hate it. It's not the worst result in the world. When you bet the way I do, where you don't bet a lot of plays, a 1-1 night is like a winning night. So yeah, we'll take it. Duke gets the job done late for us. Wasn't easy. Really had thoughts that that wasn't going to hit, but I went in the shower, came out, and we got lucky with that one. So I'm sure I'll get I'll get smacked around with a play soon that doesn't go my way. But we'll press on here and try to find a couple winners tonight. Welcome to everyone out there. Won't name everybody, can't do it. Blue Bayou, thanks for liking the show. You were number one. Awesome stuff. YYC Golfer, Marquise, Matthew, Las Vegas, Salty Dog, JK. Chris Carter's in here. Welcome in. Chris Kolonik, welcome. Omazium the Robber. Interesting name. Welcome in. And everyone else out there, appreciate it. Can't go through everyone. Yeah, Retro Star, I'm, again, a little annoyed with you. You act like we're all cool here, but you were talking a ton of shit earlier on the show. So I think people, what I'm trying to get people to understand is our show is not all picks. We're trying to have some fun, talk about relevant stuff going on in the world. It's a morning show. We're trying to wake people up, have some fun. We don't just go through the card and go through every single game. We don't bet NFL, NHL. We don't bet NBA really. So again, Peter and Jimmy, they take care of that stuff. We focus on NFL, college, things that we go with. So, we don't really, just listen to the show. Okay. We'll do our thing. Where else are we at here? What's up, John Rodriguez? Welcome in. Yeah, listen, John B, I'm not in the mood today for all the constant Sterling stuff. We get it. You like Raheem Sterling. Let's go through the games here. Let's move on to the games. I'll go through every one here, but I'm going to start with my play of the day. And this is a game that I really like. And it's tough just because I don't want to bet against them, but I do, and I'm going to. It's not facts. That's the show. We don't go through every game, Retro. We're not going to talk about NHL. We don't know anything about it. So we're not going to talk about it. We let people that deal with NHL, we let them talk about it. So that's just what our show's all about. But I'm going to go with South Carolina today as one of my plays. There's a lot of, as always, there's always things that I look for. But I'm not really right now with Temple. There are some things that concern me with them, one of which is I'm not really in love with any of the bigs that they have. The bigs that they have are just kind of bodies. They don't really do a whole hell of a lot. They're just kind of there. And they could find themselves in real trouble tonight against two bigs for South Carolina that are really good, and Chris Silva and Malik Kosar. Kosar is really having a good year. As long as these guys kind of stay in the basketball game, without fouling and things like that, I think they could have a real field day down low. Temple, look, we know they're my team. I like them. I root for them. They have great guard play, but they have had some trouble defending lately. LaSalle got to the rim at will against Temple. They hit their shots. And with the backcourt that I see with South Carolina, I think they're good enough to win the game like this. I like South Carolina's ability to win on neutral courts. That's always been something that Frank Martin has been good at. You look back to last year. That was when back when they even back to last year, with that team, they were so good in neutral courts. I like what Frank Martin does there, and I like that. Fran Dunphy, this team has had trouble with not only getting a lead, but when they get the lead, they can't put a team away. And that's concerning for me because this is the last couple of years, Temple has had problems with, they don't have a problem getting a lead, but keeping it and getting them up over the hump. And they remind me a lot of the Sixers, really. You look at even several games this year against Auburn. They allowed Auburn to come back into the game several times. Saw it against LaSalle. Trouble last year at home closing games out. That's coaching. There's issues completing games with this team. Look, that loss against LaSalle was a pretty gutting loss. It just wasn't very good. And at this basically flip them situation, I got to go with South Carolina. I think they do things better here. It should be a close game, but I am going to go with the Gamecocks here. Just don't really I don't like the spot for Temple. It's in a neutral court. Temple hasn't played at home yet this year. They've been on the road basically the whole season. This one for me is tough. And with the situation down low, I just don't like the spot for the Temple Pigs. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the South Carolina Gamecocks money line. I got plus 100. Don't have to worry about any juice if we lose. If I lose, it's just a 1-unit loss. But we won't think that way. Hey, big man, Penn State let us down, but I bet big with Duke. Good, glad to hear it. We were able to get a cash there, so that worked out. By the way, I didn't even give out my record: 47-18 on the season, 72%, up 27 units on the dot. So we're in profit now. Now it's time to have the fun. Thanks, Stephen. Appreciate you listening. Stephen Pochner, everybody. Welcome. Jeffrey Ogden. Leave him alone on the sidelines. Okay, yeah, we won't talk about him anymore. He obviously has problems. People get greedy, big man, trying to ride the bandwagon. That's why all the other shit comes around. When you put on a great show with picks, yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. But I'm not feeding into it. I'm going to stick to what I'm doing. Thanks, Blue Bayou. Appreciate you checking in. What's up, Pat Young? Mikey Z. Temple Bigs aren't reliable or solid. Agreed, totally. Look, a Flackpee's a body. Damian Moore, a body. I guess they're kind of okay rebounding wise, but when you're facing bigs that are better than you, you got to go out and defend on the perimeter. These kids just stand down low. They don't really have much offensive threats about them. So, yeah, you're totally right. UCF without BJ Taylor look horrible. Drake Rowland. All right, well, let's get into the rest of the card. I'll go down just by rotation number, give my opinion on each game. 529, 530, Texas Tech at Seton Hall. And again, guys, these are leans. If they're a play, I'll give you them. This is a tough one. For me, I actually like Texas Tech in this spot. I just don't want to bet against Seton Hall, but I actually do gun to my head like Texas Tech here. I think that the no true point guard for Seton Hall will catch up with them in this game. They have Kadeem Carrington, who's a 2. He can kind of run point, but he's not a true point guard. And you look at that Chris Beard pack line defense they run. It's really good. They have plenty of seniors on this team. And bringing Tommy Hamilton over from DePaul was a nice transfer move that was kind of under the radar. Is he going to shut down Angel Delgado? No. But I think he can be a kind of a tough matchup. Gun to my head, I would lean with the seniors here and go with Texas Tech just because I think Seton Hall is going to have to make jump shots in this game. Can they do that? That's really the question. NC State could do it last night. but that's really, for me, the difference in this one. So gun to my head, I would actually go with Texas Tech. People, big man's betting against Temple, it's 100% good to go. I wouldn't say that. I don't really look at it from a fan perspective here. I'm looking at a money perspective. Hey, Sean Crichton, good to have you here. Thanks for listening. Where are we at here? Yeah, South Carolina's +1. Yeah, I actually just took the money line. I'm not really concerned with +1. I'm in this business to win. The fact if I could push a +1, whatever, I'd rather have no juice personally. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say I love the game. I like it a lot. I think there are deficiencies here for Temple, and I'm going to exploit that. I especially know them well. Thanks for doing another show. No problem, Jonathan. Thanks for listening. What else we had here? I plugged you on Reddit. Should be getting a ton of viewers. Believe your record. I told them to tune in. Well, I'd love to see the link to that, man. I'd love to come on Reddit. You know, it's interesting. One of my friends, a friend of mine, actually told me about Reddit, and he told me that I should post my stuff on there. But I just get so busy, and I got to figure out when to do that. South Carolina losing to Illinois State. I actually had Illinois State in that game, actually. No, because I think Illinois State's a pretty solid basketball team. But yeah, I mean, it's not great, but that was in like the second game of the season as well. I went with Texas Arlington. I laid 19. Good call. That was an easy winner for you. All right, there we go. Potsner. I really like Seton Hall tonight. Yeah, I don't. Like I said, Kevin, I'm on the other side there. But let me go through the games here, and then we'll get through some comments here. Next one, Michigan State, Notre Dame, the big-time matchup of the night. I might do play-by-play on this, but we'll see. Depends on how I feel later. You always the worry for Notre Dame is, can they rebound enough? Do they have enough down low to deal with the massive front courts in college hoops? And you have another one here with Michigan State. That's a concern for me in this game. But I am also concerned with the turnover-prone Michigan State team right now with some of their issues with Cassius Winston and Tum there, and they've been turning the ball over. And look, as always, Notre Dame's going to have to hit some jump shots. But for them, I trust them. I think they can make jump shots. They usually do. Matt Farrell, Gibbs, but it's going to be trouble down low with Nick Ward and with some of the bigs that Michigan State has. Michigan State is really good on the defensive end. Jaren Jackson, Ward, Bridges is really good. This is a high number though. But you look at Notre Dame, Wichita State's similar. Similar to Michigan State. So I don't know. I'd lean points, but I don't really want to bet against Michigan State, honestly. So again, if they get hit some 3-point shots, they'll stay in this game. But they usually stay in games like this. You don't see Notre Dame get blown out very often. Doesn't happen. And in this game, I mean, you need them to win by 7 to 10 points to cover the game. You need them to win that. This isn't one of those, hey, if they win by 1 or 2, they covered. No, they have to cover 3 possessions basically. So I would actually lean with Notre Dame here. Though I do have some concerns down low with Ward and Jaren Jackson. They should be able to have a field day. North Dakota State, Mississippi State. You never know what North Dakota State team's going to show up. I mean, they're a team that hung with USC, but they'll struggle at times in the Summit League. They're just a team that's just kind of odd. You look at, like I said, they struggle with like Missouri State, yet they hang with USC, lose to Stephen F. Austin, and put up 50 points. I think this is one of those games, though, where athleticism will kind of hang throughout. I like Mississippi State. I think they're a pretty solid team under Howland. I like their guard play, but it's a game I don't have much on. Let's go through a couple of comments. Big man is the best capper. Thanks, man. Maybe in college basketball. I don't know about every other sport. I just try to do my best. The nice job, BMOC, as always. Thanks, James. Appreciate you hanging in. Yeah, big win for Miami tonight. Huge win for that club. Really nice win on the road in the barn. They're good, folks. They really are. I listed them. I have a future on them to win the entire kit and caboodle this year at 50-1. Really happy with that. I think Miami is a team that you really need to look out for if you're out there. I mean, Duke's good, but if they can continue to get the play that they've gotten out of Huel, it's going to be a great season for Larinaga and crew. Where else are we at here? There's always someone with the free Meek Mill in here. Amen. Free Meek Mill. Thanks, Charles. Yep, we're pushing along, man. Keep up the hard work. Thanks, tennis boys. MSU's my ATM. I can't wait to watch the Irish's luck run out tonight. I hear you. I just think this is a lot of points. You're basically giving a free 7 points, 3 possessions to Notre Dame. If they're hitting their shots tonight, they'll hang around in this game. But they're not going to be able to go inside out to Bonzi Colson. That could be a problem for them. BMOC, are you doing another play-by-play again? Well, if I can continue to get viewers like this, yeah, I probably will. But, guys, I have to figure out a time to eat at some point. Here's what I'll say. I will be on for some point during this game. Yes, it's an early game. I'll see what I can do. I kind of like San Diego State tonight. What do you think? I'm not interested in San Diego State tonight. That's a stay-away game for me. This is a crosstown rivalry that a lot of people don't pay much attention to. But I got to be honest, San Diego, the Toreros have really taken this this opportunity in a game like this, and they play well in it. I don't know if anyone remembers last year, but they actually played this game in Petco Park last year, and it was an absolute mess. It was ugly to watch. The wind was all over the place. It was a really low-scoring game. It was ugly. And look, San Diego State right now has some personnel issues. Trey Kell's out tonight. Malik Monk is a game-time decision, but he's probably out. Max Montana's been injured. And I've actually liked what I've seen from the San Diego Toreros. Lamont Smith's group has played well. They went out and got a win against a really tough Grand Canyon team in Grand Canyon. They play a man-to-man defense that's good on the perimeter, kind of remind you a little bit. They're going to stand up top and really make San Diego State not be able to penetrate like maybe they did against the Washington State. This is an interesting game. Like it a lot. But I'm not getting enough points to take San Diego here. I need more points to take San Diego. If I was getting 7 or 8, I might look to back the crosstown boys here just because they're going to be a lot more up for this game than San Diego State. The problem is just because it's an interesting spot doesn't always make it work out. I mean, look at last night with Buffalo and Niagara. Niagara was up for that game, got run out of the building. So San Diego State has the ability to crush any opponent. I mean, if they care a lot about this game, they'll win. It's just a question of do they care much and how much will the injuries bother the Aztecs tonight. So for me, it's an avoid. Fully healthy, yeah. How do I not take SDSU? But the line is suspiciously low. Surely. Do I have a totals lean on the Temple game? No, not really. Gun to my head over just because. Like I said, I think Kotsar and Silva will have a field day down low, and I think their guards will give them some production. And Temple's guards never have trouble scoring. Big man, how many hours do you put in a day breaking down games to find your plays? Your knowledge is unrivaled. Truthfully, and I'm just being real with you, Brooks, I don't spend a whole hell of a lot of time doing this right now. Just because all the work that I did was before the season. So, I make adjustments to like how I think about teams, but a lot of it's just about matchup to matchup. And for me, I generally already know the personnel on the team and I know what the team's going to do schematically and kind of what they already are all about. So it's really just about following it day to day. But I would say an hour a day, but it's not too much just because all this stuff is just common knowledge that I have in my head already. So it's really just about writing some things down and figuring out what the best play is. But right away, when I look overnight at lines, I pretty much know what I'm moving on. So a lot of the work is really before the season. What's up, Jared? Welcome in. Seton Hall is senior laden and have a better acclimation. I don't really think that means too much. All these teams know how to play basketball. I don't think it matters too much. And Texas Tech is very senior laden as well. All I'm saying is I hear your point. I'm just saying that I think it's going to be a lot more difficult to Seton Hall to run their offense tonight just because of the Chris Beard defense that Texas Tech runs. Texas Tech's a pretty good basketball team, honestly. Um, Michigan State won't beat two ACC teams in a week. Okay. I'll be real. If you like, it's hard to not if when people talk about money lines and stuff. A game like that is a game where you take a shot with a money line, like you take a shot with your side, and then you put some on the money line. Just because I could very well see Notre Dame winning, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Bonzie Colson's one of the top players in the ACC. Yeah, sure, I agree with that wholeheartedly. But how good will he be tonight? If he's good tonight, that's impressive. Uh, where are we at here? Great show for Premier League punters. Um, yeah, actually, I said hookers in South Philly, but good call, James. Yes, EPL punters is always a fun show. I've had a great year on that show. I'm up about 20 units on the soccer pick. So yeah, it's been a fun season. Soccer and college basketball are my two loves. So yeah, that was fun. Welcome in, Donald. Thanks for joining us tonight. All right, listen. I'm not really going to keep entertaining you. I read your story. I gave you a chance. I told you stop if you keep doing it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to be and add stuff to the conversation, but you're the only person that's not adding to the conversation, and you're really just clogging up the conversation. So again, I mean, we'll give you one last shot here, but if you continue your crap, we're gonna have to move on for you. Let's go through some other games here. South Florida, Elon. Elon's a really good defensive team, and they're going to make South Florida shoot the basketball, which South Florida's not good at. South Florida wants to get the ball inside to their bigs. Elon's going to really not allow that. So lean Elon. Harvard Northeastern. This is a Boston matchup, a game they play every year. It's really a coin flippy kind of game. Harvard has really young players. They've struggled to start the year. Both these teams are separated by basically a bridge, so I don't have too much on this game. Western Carolina, Charleston. The growing problem for Western Carolina has always been their inability to hit shots. They're not good offensively at all. They're among, if you look at even last year, among the worst teams in the nation offensively. I think they were right near like the 58 points a game, which is awful. And they're going to have a lot of trouble tonight against Charleston. Charleston is definitely missing some players, particularly Jarrell Brantley. Grant Riller's been out for a period of time as well. I actually kind of like the under in this game, 135. Charleston's had some trouble scoring as well. I'd imagine this game's played in the 60s. It would surprise me, honestly, guys, if Western Carolina scores 55 points, honestly. Charleston has some really, really good defensive units there. So I look at this one maybe 65, 67-48 or something like that. I'll lean under 135 in that game. Memphis UAB, tough game. I don't think Memphis is very talented, though they are off a nice win against Northern Kentucky, a game that we had earlier this over the weekend. But I like UAB as well. So just kind of a coin flip. Memphis is a team I like to back at home, not really on the road. So pass for Tubby Smith's boys. Though they showed me a little bit on Saturday, so impressive. Oklahoma gets North Texas. I'm extremely high on Oklahoma. I love Trae Young. I think, to me, coming into the season, in looking at the recruiting stuff, which I'm very much into, I think he's a kid. In my opinion, he was the best shooter in this class, and he's proven that. I mean, he's off of a 43-point game against Oregon, a 33-point game against Portland. I mean, the kid can just tote the rock. I mean, he's a great player, a great player. A lot of points in this game, though. I mean, Oregon can score. So, I mean, maybe look at a team total, but it's a lot of points, a 30-point number here. I never really know how to approach these. The only time I really lay numbers like this are against like SWAC, MEAC, those kind of teams. At the end of the day, North Texas is a Conference USA team, though. Are the Mean Green very good? Not really willing to bet my life on it. So, while I like Oklahoma, I'm not really looking to lay 30 points with them. Though they'll probably cover it. I'm just going to keep rocking here. UNC Wilmington, Eastern Carolina. East Carolina is without a coach. Jeff Lebo left the groups, which was surprising. Lebo usually a decent coach. It's definitely surprising that he left kind of in the fashion that he did. But, hey, that's what happens sometimes. They've had a tough couple of years. But here's the issue that I have. UNC Wilmington is terrible defensively. I mean, if ECU can move past the coaching problem, which I don't actually hate those spots, even in college. Generally, when a manager or a coach leaves a team, I'm usually looking to back them in the next game. While UNC Wilmington can score, they're horrible from the field, or from defending. I mean, so I don't know. I could see where people would like UNC Wilmington, but I just can't back their defense. And off the coaching change at home, I don't hate the spot for Eastern Carolina, but you're not going to make a lot of money betting on them just because they don't hit shots on a regular basis. But there are other opportunities tonight against a terrible a defense in the Seahawks. Keep it moving here. And I will get to the comments at the end, guys. Missouri UCF. This is a game that I had my eye on. But for me, the only reason I'm not betting this game, and while I considered the under, I think the under might be the right play in this game. Without BJ Taylor, UCF's awful on offense. Awful. I mean, last year they struggled without him. He's the real catalyst to this team. And if you look at last year, he broke his hand, and I actually went away from UCF for a while. Once he came back in conference play, and I actually remember making that comment on Peter Loshak and I think Peter made the comment on when we first started roundtables. Peter Loshak was on it with Mike Brenner, and I remember Peter making the comment that they were a bet-on team for him in conference play because B.J. Taylor came back, and I knew right away. I'd never really worked with Peter in basketball, but I kind of knew right away I respected him not only in football but in basketball because he knew who B.J. Taylor was, and for me that's impressive. Most people don't, and he's totally right. Without B.J. Taylor, UCF just can't score the basketball. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. But one thing they do always under Johnny Dawkins is their zone is fantastic. They have Big Taco fall down protecting the rim, and their guards can guard. They do a great job on the wing. Missouri's going to have some trouble scoring because they haven't seen a defense quite like this. And Dawkins, if you look at the coaching in this game, Conzo Martin, where did he coach before Missouri? Cal. And Johnny was at Stanford. So these two teams and coaches, as far as coaches, know each other. And at Cal, they had no success against Dawkins when he was at Stanford. So, again, I know personnel is different, but, again, I think Missouri will struggle here a little bit against that really good defense. This could be a low-scoring game. Will it be 46-43 like the game against St. John's? No, but I could see a game played in the 60s, frankly. But Missouri's got really good athletes. They can score a ton, so it just kind of just missed my cut. But I do like the under in this game. I think both teams will really, really put on here on the defensive end. Northern Arizona, Santa Clara. I have nothing on that one. Northern Arizona is terrible. Bet against them a couple times this year. Actually, Arizona State punted them. We had that one. Weber State, Fresno. This is an interesting game. Weber State's I backed them once or twice this year. They're a solid outfit under Randy Rahe, do a nice job. But they're going to press Fresno State. And you look in certain games this year, against Iona and even in that James Madison game, which I bet against them, they struggled with turnovers there. Good point, though, is some of their bigs have started to play better. So I kind of like Weber in this matchup, getting all these points. They're always a team that play real well. And, I just would like a couple more points, maybe 12, 13, 14, at 11. It's still kind of right off that double-digit mark. Pacific, UC Riverside. I've made it clear I like Pacific. I think down the road they'll be good. They have 5 guards that are good. They have 5 players in general on the floor that are good with the basketball. Like Damon Stoudemire, they don't have much height, but they do a nice job defensively a lot of the time playing a zone. Riverside stinks. But do you really want to lay points with Pacific is the question. So that for me is a no. So just for me, one play. There's some games that were close to it, but again, we'll crack on and try to make the one winner. Maybe try something late, but for me, it's just going to be South Carolina. Let's go through some comments here. South Carolina on the money line, the play for tonight. Please like the show if you're out there. I greatly appreciate that. It helps my growth, and I appreciate it. Thanks to all these guys. Let me go up here and get through the comments because the thing moves like crazy. I thought you would be on Temple. Good to see you're about winning. Thanks for the great insight. No problem, 2 Chains. Thanks for listening. Is the big thing. Where are we going here? Where's Loose Cunt? I have no idea. Not sure. Seton Hall is senior laden. We went over that. FSUAB. Yeah, I'm going through some retread comments here. Do you bet second half if you're seeing first half? No, not really. Big Man's on fire. Thanks, Dre, for Trey. Appreciate it. We'll hope to continue it. Am I doing a play-by-play? Yeah, I'll probably try to do something at some point. Yeah, I mean, John B. Again, it was funny the first time, but like every joke, it kind of gets old. I mean, it's not that funny anymore, really. So, yeah, I don't care about the Big Ten ACC Challenge. That shit means nothing to me. That's so fucking stupid to actually track that. Games are against games. I think the Big Ten's a good conference, as do I think the ACC is a good conference. Thoughts on the Battle of San Diego? I went over every game, so I don't think there should be many questions here. Yep, I saw. Good for him. He's a good player. I don't think he'll have a ton of success tonight, though. It's crazy the amount of information you retain. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, good memory, I guess. Hopefully it doesn't go. Yeah, thanks, Koji. Yeah, Northern Iowa was really kind of staring you in the face last night. After looking at it, it was really one that, I mean, I saw a lot of people in UNLV. Line made no sense. Stanford, yep, good one there. Good to have you, Douglas. I think I shouted you out already. I don't think it's an upset, Artez, but I think they can hang in that game, sure. I don't really bet on NCAA basketball, but I like to watch big men. Good to have you, Costa. Thanks for listening. Great insight in UNLV. I was able to pull the trigger. You thought I was suspicious. Okay, you were going to pull the trigger, but you didn't. Good. At least, hey, that's the thing, guys. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I don't gloat really too much because I'm trying to help you maybe not make a play that you would. So, again, I'm not the almighty compass on college hoops, but I'll definitely try to give you my opinion. I'm on USD. Bet the other side. Okay, we will. Thanks for letting us know. I'm not sure where you're getting Missouri -2. I haven't seen that line anywhere. So I'm not sure where you're getting Missouri -2. I don't know if you're buying points, but if you're doing that, I don't know why you're doing that. Missouri's not -2, by the way, there, John. So you might want to look that up. Fucking hell, man. So many comments here. I'm going to try to get through all of them here. Fucking hell. All right, big man, what's the deal with the tool that trolls you on Twitter? The guy's a jackass. Just lonely guys that have nothing better to do. I mean, clearly I know what I'm talking about, so I don't really care what they say. They don't have any connection to me. I think they're really just might be other cappers, and I'm pretty sure I know who the guy is. And if you follow SBR, you know who he is. So what can you do? Unfortunately, the internet has them everywhere. Everyone has a troll. It's just how it goes. I could cure cancer, and someone would have something bad to say about me. So I've grown to not really worry about it anymore. Big man, it's unbelievable how you know which teams do zone or man. Yeah, I mean, just watch the games, bro. What about before the season? How long? I remember you saying it was alphabetical. Yeah, that's exactly what I do, Walter. I go through every team starting up at A and go through every team till I get to the end. And I go through each conference as well. kind of news and notes, transfers. I look at those kind of things. The big thing is just looking at who's on the team and who's not, who moved, who didn't. Do they have a new coach? Are they installing a new offense or defense? Yeah, it takes time, but that's how it goes. You need a picture of Kobe behind you. No, I don't. I hate Kobe Bryant. Good thing on staying off Mercer. Yeah, exactly. Good point. Mercer was close for me, but when I saw the Rion Holland news, I didn't go on it, and we saw what happened there. What do you think of A&M? A good question, actually. I know there's some added games tonight. A&M's laying a big number, and they're laying an even bigger number now because it's an added game, and those games move. I know Mark Lathrop was touting Texas A&M. I tend to stay away from giving those games out much. I mean, just because I know a lot of people can't get them, and I'm trying to help people there, so I don't really necessarily give them out. But we'll take a look here at the little schedule. I mean, it's up to 38.5. So I mean, that's what happens with these added games. They move 12, 13, 14 points. That's where a lot of these books don't take these bets. But yeah, I mean, I guess if you got a 26.5, you're the king and you win. But I mean, these are really just about when they come out. I bet a lot of the success I had early in the season was betting these games before they moved. And, if you can bet them, you can bet them. But as far as tonight's games, there's just not a ton that I'm looking for. And I'm not going to give them out just because I know everyone can't bet them. So it's not really fair much anymore to count those. So, they should cover, but it's 38.5. What do you think of A&M? Probably just talked about that. Yeah, they come in slow. I got to go through them. Is this a new format? I've been going to Spreaker and waiting for a show. First time seeing this. Yeah, it starts at 5 every day. Nick T. Thanks for listening. Nick T, a long time listener of mine. Thanks for joining us. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate you checking us out. At what point do you think Coach K runs a zone? What kind of effect will that have? Coach K tried running a zone the other night, and he got fucking crushed against Florida with it, and then he went to man, and it worked. Last night, he was playing man, and it didn't work, and he wouldn't go to his zone. I'm going to say this, and there's a lot of people in here. They might like my thoughts, and they might not. I don't think Coach K is a great X and O coach. I think he's extremely overrated, but that's just my opinion. I don't know when he'll go to his zone again. I would hope against the teams that he should go to zones against, he does, and man, he goes to, but he doesn't seem to have a lot of success with that. Geordie Shore is the shit, BMOC. Yes, it is. It's a great show. I was wondering what happened to your podcast. I've been waiting for college basketball season. Well, here we are. I've been posting on Twitter, Nick T. That's the go-to now with Twitter. Yeah, guys, I went over every game, so I'm behind on comments here. What do I think about BU this year? They're not Bucknell, and I like Bucknell a lot. So I'm not really someone that really thinks that I really have to worry much about the Patriot League just because I don't see anyone else beating Bucknell. But I mean, they've had a solid start to the season. I mean, they're 3-3, but for this group, all that matters is the regular season. They're not going to have success early on because they're playing teams that are better than they are. But I love Cedric Hankerson. I think he's a great player. He's a great guard. They've been getting some decent bench production. It's all about the regular season for them. I think they're second or third in the Patriot League, but look, Bucknell, they're going to roll through that conference this year, especially with all the experience they've gained early on. I have no opinion on that total Blue Bayou. The more I look at the picture behind you, the more I think it's Charles Barkley. It's definitely not. If you want a nice weekend, go to Charleston and see a game. Yeah, I've heard that's a really nice town, so maybe someday I'll get down there. I'm waiting for my fucking birth certificate so I can go get a passport, and then I can really do some fucking traveling. Yeah, Russell, they are a terrible shooting team. Exactly. Do you think it's a fair competition between Young and Curry? Uh, Steph Curry and Trae Young? I mean, who knows? I mean, Trae Young's a kid. He's a great shooter, but no, I would give Steph Curry the edge there. I don't think it's that fair. Young could be someday, um, but no. I would think a fair comparison against Steph Curry would be like JJ Redick. No, I'm not going to think that a freshman can do that. I don't think they're in shambles, actually. Again, I actually like spots like this. And Wilmington is a shambles defensively. So I don't think you have much of an edge there. Yeah, Jeff Lebo's a nice guy. I've watched many a press conferences with him. Where are we going here? We'll go through a couple more things here. Is there a close front line in the country that's as good as Duke, big man? Well, I think Michigan State's very good. We saw that. When Florida comes back, John Egbunu's very good. All the big. Kansas doesn't have a comparable front, but Billy Preston, when he comes back, that'll be an added bonus for the Jayhawks. Who else? I mean, Kentucky, they surely have bigs that can play. But is there a front line as good as them? No. But there are comparable ones. Yeah, the recap is South Carolina. That's it. Yeah, it is a nice small slate tonight. I like the soccer shows you do. They're very informative. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate you checking me out. We enjoy doing them. Yep, we got it. We got it. Yep, hit the like button. Amen, Buster Carr. I heard Loshak is no longer a candidate for the Tennessee football job. Yeah, I'm actually the next in line, actually. So I got my interview tomorrow, so I'm excited for that. Corey Charles, respect to you, my friend. Thanks for listening. Um, these Dennis, listen to the show over. I went through a long breakdown. Fucking hell, man. Thanks, Colton. Appreciate you checking me out, man. Oh, man. Go watch the show over. I'm not going through my breakdown again on why I like South Carolina. Big man, who would win, Zags or Duke? I don't think it's close. I think Duke would be a 9-point favorite in that game. Duke is better. My Twitter is at Jeff JFFNADU. Other than that, guys, I think we're to the end. The time has come for me to jump off. Yeah, I don't want to take you off your play. If you have a feel on it, move it. But yeah, I think Texas Tech's a solid group. At Seton Hall, people love it. You do a great job. Don't worry about haters. Nah, I don't. Just have fun with them. Just break their balls. Looking forward to seeing you on Geordie Shore. When I lose some weight, I might try out. Maybe it'll have maybe they'll have a Yankee on the show. I wouldn't mind. It'd be what an amazing experience that would be. I would love to be on a show like that. Though I don't know if I could deal with it just because I'm extremely I'm very all about cleanliness and stuff. So I don't know if I could live in houses like that. But as far as the birds that are there, birds meaning the women, yeah, I could crack on with a couple of them. Do I hate the jump ball? I'm not in love with it, but when it benefits my team, I like it. But yeah, I don't think it's a great way to decide possession. But again, I mean, is it fair to have LeBron James against JJ Barea? Not really. I mean, again, it is what it is. I feel like those are the rules, and I'm cool with staying with them, even if sometimes it doesn't always affect me or does affect me. Yeah, so my only play tonight's going to be on South Carolina. I'm going to go with that. Big man, have you talked to Tweety? No, I haven't talked to Tweety Dimes. Not lately. I know he's having some trouble right now. Hopefully he has some success. I would love to chat with him. I hang out with him, but he doesn't. He's his own guy. Tweet's been around a long time. I've known him for many years. That's who he is. He plays a lot of games. He does his thing. He has his own way of handicapping. I'm not going to take him off it. That's the way he does things. So I would never tell someone how to handicap, especially another handicapper. But if someone comes to me and asks me my opinion, I'm going to give it to them. And people don't like opinions. I don't always like opinions. I think the way I do things is the right way. So I can't really call the kettle black with that comment because I'm the same way. But when you do it for so long, like I have, I feel like I'm entitled to have my own opinion and do it the right way. And Tweety, do I agree with the way he bets? No, but that's his opinion. Not what we're talking, but how do you feel about the McGregor situation? I think Conor McGregor's in some real shit right now, and I think he takes it as a joke. But the truth of the matter is, um, he's walking a tightrope. I feel, especially with the stuff that I've heard. You can't. You don't just. For instance, I made the comment earlier. If I go to Rayo's and I see John Gotti sitting there, I'm not going to just walk up to him and start, getting on with him. I'm gonna ask politely, "Hey, can I say hello?" or something. I mean, Conor McGregor thinks he's fucking can do whatever he wants. When you're dealing with the kind of people that he's dealing with here, you're on another level. Christy Keenahan is the leader of the Keenahan gang, and Christy Keenahan is a murderer. I mean, he's a criminal. He's one of the biggest drug dealers in Europe, really. And the kid or the guy that he hit is a big time drug dealer in the Keenahan gang. The Keenahan Hutch feud has been a long standing drug feud and turf war basically in Ireland for many years. And a friend, David Byrne, who is a good friend to Conor McGregor, was actually killed by the Keenahan gang. So there are ties. Conor hangs out with people that have ties to these guys, and Conor got on with one of these guys and has an issue here. But touting that, come get me, that kind of stuff, these are people that are not people you fuck around with. These are people that will go in to they went into boxing matches and just shot the whole place up. These are real life gangsters that are not people you want to fuck around with. Did I feel an earthquake? No, I didn't. I'm not that close to that Dover area, so no, I didn't. Yeah, that's not a smart idea. So Connor's gonna have some problems, but I think tonight I'll be on Gabe's show. I'm actually gonna get on to talk about this. I have a long-standing. I've done a lot of research over the years on a lot of these Irish, British gangs, so I have a lot of knowledge on this kind of thing. So we'll chat about this probably a little bit later tonight. But yeah, the Keenahans are not the group you want to mess with, and the fact that his father's toning the situation down. Basically, he's trying to put a spin on it. Oh, it's not anything serious. Blah 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 blah. But according to the people that I've talked to that are over there, Connor's all over the place. He's on coke. He's knocked some chick up from Liverpool. He's just all over the place after that big payday. So he better watch out. And I don't know if they're setting up some kind of situation where he pays them off for them to shut up. But this isn't Conor just starting stuff with a mob guy. He's been involved with people like this for many years. He isn't many of his friends are Irish gangsters. Let's take one or two questions, then we'll wrap it up. We're getting late here. Boom. I have a house on the shore, open anytime. Where are you at, Ferdinando? Where are you at? I'm in South Jersey. Rank your Jersey Shore. Snooky 1, Sammy Sweetheart 2, Dina 3, JWoww 4. Yeah. And we had a lot of users. People duck out after they hear the picks. They don't want to just chat about stuff. But yeah, I talked about that, Rolo. You have to listen to the show over. I actually went over every game. So for me, my only play tonight is going to be South Carolina. But I gave a breakdown of that game a little bit earlier. So I would definitely check out the show. You still have another hour or so till the show starts. But that's it for tonight, guys. I'll probably be on with Gabe a little later. He said something about having me come on. So maybe I'll be on later to talk about that. Other than that, though, that's going to be it for me. I'll be back tomorrow, Friday afternoon, 5 o'clock with another show. We'll break down the 5 o'clock card. And I'll be on tomorrow, as always, SBRpicks.com, 10 o'clock Eastern. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. South Carolina money line tonight. Your play of the day. Have a great night. Bye bye.